Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Health Formula Show. I am here today with a topic that I know many of you will relate to. So let's be real for a second, because if you feel like you look 6 months pregnant after every single meal, even when you're eating healthy, then something is off. Like your body is always communicating with you. You're not imagining it, and it's definitely not normal. That constant bloating, it's actually your gut trying to get your attention. But before we get into it, if you haven't listened to last week's episode of how most supplements do nothing and how to choose the right ones, make sure you check that out after this one. Because if your gut is not working properly, you are not going to absorb any of the supplements that you may be taking. So it really starts there. It always starts with gut health. Now, let me tell you, because this is something that we work with every single day in our private practice. Almost every person that comes to us has some form of digestive complaint, different types of bloating, different triggers, but it's always there because bloating is not just bloating. It is really a symptom. And as I said, it's your body trying to tell you that something deeper is going on. So today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down the biggest reasons why you are bloated after meals and how to get rid of it and how to fix that. So let's first start with the fact that bloating after the occasional indulgent meal is one thing. But if it happens after every time you eat, even something like a salad or a soup, then that's not normal. And it can really affect how you feel in your clothes, your mood, and even your energy. So let me take you through some of the biggest root causes that we see. Number one is low stomach acid, or frankly, even low digestive enzymes. If your body cannot break down food properly at the top of the digestive chain, then what's going to happen is that undigested food will actually sit there in your gut and it will ferment. That creates gas, it creates pressure, it creates bloating, and things like stress, age, acid blockers like PPIs, all of that actually reduces your stomach acid. So the very thing that you might be using to help your digestion could be making it worse. And frankly, if you are taking acid blockers or know anyone that is, you absolutely need to have them listen to episode 119, which is the 4 dangers of acid blockers and acid reflux myths. So head over to paulabenedict.com/episode 119, and we will also link it in today's show notes. Now, another reason could be food intolerances. So like garlic, onion, beans, lentils, even very, very healthy foods can cause bloating if you do have a disrupted microbiome, because they ferment in the gut and they feed the wrong bacteria, especially if there is bacterial overgrowth in the small intestine. And I just want to be very clear about this, because it's not about restricting these foods forever. Like garlic, lentils, beans, they are actually incredibly beneficial for gut health and your microbiome diversity in the long run. But when your gut is inflamed or when your gut is imbalanced, your body can really struggle to tolerate them. So the goal is not to eliminate them permanently. The goal is to fix the gut so you can then bring those foods back in and enjoy them without having any symptoms. Next, we have gut dysbiosis. And when I talk about gut dysbiosis, I'm talking about SIBO, I'm talking about candida, parasites, all of that. And this is one of the most common causes that we see in testing. So when your gut bacteria are out of balance or in the wrong place, like let's say, for example, the small intestine, they feed on what you eat and obviously release gas, lots of it. So that's something to bear in mind. And then another common problem is poor bile flow or low pancreatic output. So your liver, your gallbladder, your pancreas, all of those are crucial for digestion, especially when it comes to breaking down fats and breaking down proteins. Now, if your bile is not flowing properly, or if your pancreas is not producing enough enzymes, then the food just sits there, undigested, and then that causes bloating. One easy way to tell if this might be happening is if you feel very bloated after eating fats, even healthy fats like avocado, salmon, eggs, nuts, olive oil, even in small amounts. Or maybe you notice like some oily residue in the toilet, maybe some pale stools, or that your food just feels like it sits in your stomach for ages. Now, this doesn't mean that fats are the problem. It just means that your digestion of fats needs support. And this is exactly why I love the Daily Super Green so much, because it contains a potent digestive enzyme blend that really helps break down food properly, especially for those struggling with fat, struggling with protein digestion. And it's one of the reasons why people notice less bloating and better bowel movement and just like way more comfortable digestion overall after taking it, even without changing their diet. And then, of course, we still want to support the gut long term. But when you are in the middle of symptoms, then things like these, then they can really make a huge difference in how you feel right now. And then last but not least, lifestyle habits. So lifestyle habits is a very overlooked thing, all the time. Things like eating too fast, drinking iced cold water, drinking a lot of like sparkling drinks with meals, or eating when you're stressed out. All of these things, they reduce digestive function. And if there's one thing that my friends and family know about me, like wherever we go, like whenever we go out for a meal, is that I will absolutely refuse to drink water if it's cold. I always ask for room temperature water, because when you drink cold water with food, it really slows down enzyme production. It tightens up the digestive tract, and it makes it harder for your body to break down your meal. And the same goes for fizzy water. And I know that it feels refreshing, but it's not your digestion's best friend. And rushing through your meals, scrolling down your phone, eating in a stressful situation, all of that switches your body into fight or flight mode, which literally shuts down your digestion. So slowing down, chewing properly, being very present with your food, all of that makes a huge difference. And something that a lot of people don't realize is that when you bloat, can actually tell you a lot about why you are bloating. So if you feel bloated within about 20 minutes of eating, that usually points to a problem with stomach acid, or frankly digestive enzymes as well, meaning that your body is not producing it or not producing enough of it to break down food properly right from the beginning. If the bloating comes on 1 to 3 hours later, it's more likely related to the small intestine. So things like food sensitivities or bacterial overgrowth could be an issue. And if you feel fine all day, but then suddenly you just balloon by the evening, that often means slow digestion and just poor gut motility, usually tied to an imbalance in the microbiome or things just building up throughout the day. So what can you actually do about it? Because if you've already tried removing gluten, removing dairy, if you've done, the probiotic thing, if you've changed your eating habits and you are still bloated, then it's time to stop guessing. I always say that. Stop guessing, start testing. And at Synergize, for example, in our practice, we do something called the Gut Health Starter Bundle to really help you uncover the root causes of bloating. And it includes 2 very simple at-home lab tests. The first is a comprehensive stool test, and this looks at your microbiome, how well you are digesting food, the levels of inflammation, parasites, yeast overgrowth, and even the health of your gut lining. And the second one is a very simple at-home urine test called the organic acid test. And this one goes even deeper. It gives you insight into yeast, mold overgrowth, nutrient deficiencies, detox pathways, neurotransmitters, just overall metabolic function. And so together, these 2 tests, they give you over 100 biomarkers. And once your results are in, you get a free 60-minute consultation with one of our certified Synergize practitioners. And what we do is we walk you through the results, what's going on in your body, and then we give you a very clear, personalized plan based on your results. So if you are bloated, if you're tired, if you're foggy, or just feeling off and nothing that you've tried is working, this is where I recommend starting. And you can find all labs at paulabenedict.com/labs. And all you have to do is just look for the Gut Health Starter Bundle. And then one more thing is that I've put together a free handout for you with all of my top tips for improving gut health and improving digestion. Very simple, but very powerful and practical. So if you're watching this on YouTube, just comment "fix my gut" below and we'll send it to you straight away. If you're listening on the podcast, just head to paulabenedict.com/episode 375 and just click on the WhatsApp link in the show notes and then message us with the same phrase, fix my gut, and we will send you the beautiful guide. And before we wrap up, there's just one more thing that we have to talk about, and it's something that can completely sabotage your digestion, even after you've done everything right, and that is stress. If you're eating in a state of stress, your body simply will not digest food properly. And I see this in clinic all the time. Like, people go through the gut protocol, they take all the right supplements, they clean up their diet, but if they're still eating while scrolling, rushing between meetings, or feeling anxious, then the bloating doesn't really go away. And the reason for that is because when you're stressed out, your body shifts energy away from digestion, and stomach acid drops, enzyme production slows down, and your gut motility, which is the movement that pushes food all throughout your digestive tract, completely slows down. So even if you're eating the cleanest, healthiest meal, if your body is not in a parasympathetic state, it just can't break it down. And I always say that if I am super stressed, I would rather skip a meal altogether, or I'll have something that's pre-digested already, like maybe a smoothie made with a daily essential formula, for example, to give me all that nutrition, because it's gentle and it's very easy on the system and it doesn't need a lot of energy to digest. So here's what I recommend. Make sure to take a moment before your meal. Sit down, put your phone away. Do 5 to 10 deep belly breaths. Slow down. Chew your food properly. Honestly, like, this one habit alone can completely transform your digestion, and it doesn't cost a thing. And just before we wrap up, let's just bust a few common myths around bloating. So first of all, more fiber fixes everything. Well, not true, especially if you have SIBO or dysbiosis. In fact, it can make things worse. Second, bloating means you are gaining fat. No, that is not true. Most of the time, it's just water and gas, not fat. And finally, any probiotic will help. Not really. It needs to be the right strain and matched to what your body actually needs. So here's what I want you to remember. Bloating is not random. It's a signal from your body. And once you know how to read it, you can finally start taking the right steps towards healing. And next week's episode is going to be a big one, by the way. And we are going to be talking about why you may be waking up at 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. and what your body is trying to tell you. So we're going to be blending some traditional Chinese medicine traditions with functional medicine as well to really figure out, those wake-up calls and help you finally get a full night's sleep that is so, so important. Until then, sending you so much love, and don't forget to leave your Fix My Gut message if you want the free handout. And before you go, take a moment to acknowledge yourself for wanting to become the healthiest version of yourself. Before you head off, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a weekly episode. We cover everything from functional medicine to gut health to hormones to weight loss to skin health to natural beauty, you name it. All of the topics that truly matter. And if there's something that you would love me to cover, just drop it in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.